There we go. We are live. Charlie Marlow. What's up, everybody? Been a while since I did a Cardinals live stream. And I'm doing it here on the Cardinals Clips channel. So Card Central Clips. So hopefully some of you will jump over from STL Sports Central, the main page, as we're trying to build this channel up and also to get the hours up, get this thing monetized, and let's go. Okay, I got to put the comments on. Boom. There we go. This is the first time we're going live on this channel. All right. And here's why. I've been getting back into the Cardinals, did a video the other day, and then also I went to the game last night. Second game I've been to this year. I went to a Phillies game early in the season in April, Saturday game. Great weather, had a great time. Last night, not so much in terms of the weather. Did have a great time, though. And I'll just be honest with you guys, hashtag blessed. We did have some all-inclusive tickets, because if we didn't have all-inclusive tickets with the all-you-can-eat and all-you-can-drink, I probably wouldn't have went down to the game just based on the weather forecast. I mean, I was sitting here at my house, and I was looking at the weather, 6:45 start, and it said something like 100% chance of rain at 6 o'clock. 90% chance of rain at 7 o'clock. So if we didn't have the all-inclusive tickets, I probably never would have made my trek down to Busch Stadium. And I understand why a lot of people didn't. Look, I know sometimes people will rag on Cardinals fans and say you got to go to the games and all that. And I do think this year's team, they've played hard, right? They've played hard. They've overcome the fact that we all thought it was going to be this kind of rebuilding year. They played better than expected. I'm not saying they're perfect by any means, but I understand why early on a lot of fans weren't showing up. I think at this point, though, this 2025 team, coaching staff, even if you don't love everything John Mozeliak's doing, I get it, but I feel like they've earned the right to have Cardinal Nation come back and watch a lot of these games. But last night, I totally get it. Because if you're looking at the forecast, there ain't no way you're driving down to Busch Stadium. And exactly what I thought would happen ended up happening. Because there was a window there, but we're talking about a 2-hour and 15-minute rain delay. 2 hours and 15 minutes. But again, I had a great time because we were up there, all-inclusive, eating good food, drinking good drinks, waiting for the game to start. I'm still on the Cardinals media list, so I get those updates. I think it was 5:42. They said the game was going to be starting in a rain delay. And then right around 8:15, whenever it was, you get the alert. The game's going to start at 9. So here we go. And look, Cards get the win. Sonny Gray pitched well after the lengthy rain delay, which obviously you don't start your routine and all that, but that can mess with the pitcher's head. And you think you're going to start at 6:45. You don't start till 9. It is what it is. But Sonny Gray goes 5 innings in that game. And I'm not going to lie, I only stayed for 5 innings because, look, I got kids. I got to work. And so when did we leave? We left about 11. I mean, heck, the game was supposed to start at 6:45. I was saying to my buddy as I was walking out, I'm like, hey, this is like the time of the game of how long it would have lasted back in the old days, right? Before the pitch clock. If the game would have started at 6:45, we would have left at 11 sometimes. Not 11, but you know what I'm saying. The games used to be long. Now the pitch clock, it's certainly working. We stayed for a couple hours, whatever it was. Maybe it was less than that, hour and a half. I don't know. I stayed through 5 innings is what I'm saying. But Sonny Gray obviously pitches well, 5 innings, 6 strikeouts. Was fielding a ton of balls hit back to him. Also, I feel like early in that game, like every ball was hit right back to Sonny Gray. Cards win it 4-2. They get just enough offense. And this is after the Nationals get on the board first. Nationals scored 2 runs in the 3rd inning. And I'm thinking, man, coming off last week, which was so bad, you get swept by the Pirates. You lose 2 of 3 to the Cubs. You got the Nationals in town. They're not good. Sonny Gray, your ace, is on the mound. That's essentially a game you have to win. Knowing the struggles the Cardinals go through when they have Miles Michaelis on the mound, Eric Fetty on the mound. When you got Sonny Gray going after a horrible week and you're facing the Nationals at home, you got to win that game. And so good on the Cardinals for coming right back after giving up that 2 spot, coming right back with a 3 spot to take the lead. And then you have the Nootbaar homer, obviously, later on there in the 6th inning after I had left. But that 3rd inning, Donovan gets a high pitch and just smokes it to right field. And that's coming after the Victor Scott double. Burleson also doubles in that inning in the 3rd to get the 3 runs for your St. Louis Cardinals. How about that? Okay. Lot to talk about here. Couple things. First of all, if you can see in the thumbnail picture here that I put up there, long night, that's where we were sitting. We were sitting basically front row of left field. And so as I left the game after the 5th inning, I was driving back and I heard, and I haven't watched the replay yet, but I heard that Mason Wynn, I'm listening to KMOX. I heard that Mason Wynn hit a ball that was almost out or was going to be out, and James Wood robbed him of a home run. Excuse me. And so I want to see that clip because I'm wondering if it was hit to where we were, could I have done like a Jeffrey Mayer and jumped down there? And should I have like swatted James Wood his glove away so that Mason Wynn could get that homer? By the way, James Wood is a freaking specimen. So he's right in front of us. And I'm looking at that dude, and obviously I've heard about him. I've seen him a little bit here and there. And, even if you're right there, you look at this guy, I'm like, this dude is a monster. How tall is this dude? 6'6"? And sure enough, he's 6'7". What is he? Is he 22 years old? James Wood? I think he's 22 years old. 2nd year in the big leagues. Yeah, 6'7", 234. He's about to he'll turn 23 in September. This dude, look at his numbers this year. 23 bombs, 68 RBI, 287 average, so he can hit. He walks, 390 on base, obviously slugs, 545 slug, 935 OPS. And I'm watching that game. A couple things came to mind. First of all, that picture, and it's of a Lamborghini, this awesome car, Lamborghini, but it's in a carport, under a carport in a really crappy house. And it'll kind of be like, I was thinking that's James Wood on the Nationals. But then, look, CJ Abrams is also good. But I was just watching the lineup. I'm looking through the lineup of the Nationals. I'm like, man, this lineup is really lacking. And then you have James Wood, who's a freaking absolute stud, potential future face of the franchise, probably the face of the franchise right now. Maybe is going to be one of the faces of baseball down the road. And, of course, was in that huge Juan Soto trade, which I had to look up again. The Juan Soto trade, August 2nd, 2022. James Wood, by the way, he's a 2nd-round pick. But in that trade, the Nationals get CJ Abrams, Mackenzie Gore, Robert Hassel III, and Luke Voigt, okay, for Josh Bell and Juan Soto, those 2 dudes being sent to the Padres. And then Josh Bell is now already back with the Nationals. He was playing, of course, for the Nationals last night. But James Wood is one of those guys, you just look at him, and he just looks like the stud, the dude. And so first thing I just mentioned, James Wood is the only superstar. I'll give you CJ Abrams, but like he just sticks out that it's him, this unbelievable player, and then the Nationals lineup, which is pretty horrific. Let's be honest. Then I'm thinking to myself, though, the Cardinals needed James Wood. Now, clearly, if you're watching that game, if you're watching both teams, you would take the Cardinals lineup over the Nationals lineup, but you'd surely take James Wood over every single position player that the Cardinals have. And also you saw Brendan Donovan became an all-star the other day. And I was thinking about that too. The Cardinals need their James Wood, whether that's going to be J.J. Weatherholt. You can't have Brendan Donovan be your best offensive player. And I know, look, Nolan Arenado's hurt. Nolan Arenado is the best player on the team. I'm I'm not saying he's the best player this year, but he's the best overall player. He's going to be a Hall of Famer. Wilson Contreras, really good player. But for this year, Brendan Donovan, your all-star. And by the way, I love Brendan Donovan. Love Brendan Donovan. Like I said, he got a pitch that was about shoulder high last night and just kept it up and hits that bomb to right field. But here's a good question for you guys. And if you have your comments, get them in. I'm going to put my comment in here just so it shows up. Hello. Hello, everybody. Okay. There's me. And I'll put it on the screen. Hello. I want to hear from you guys. Get your comments in. Only 4 of you are watching right now, but that's all good. This is the first time we're ever doing a live stream here on the channel. And it looks like, there we go. Okay. I'm getting rid of the stage. I'm working through some things, folks. Okay. But there you go. Card Central Clips. That's me. I'm saying hello. And I'm going to write right now, get your comments in. Okay. Because I have a question I'm going to ask you right now. Get your comments in, folks. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go, baby. Get your comments in. All right. And boom. All right. This is fun. This is fun. We are having a good time. Okay. So here's my question, though. I'm thinking to myself, we all love Brendan Donovan, but you don't want him to be the best player on your team. So I was thinking to myself, from an offensive standpoint, if you want to have a team that could really compete for the World Series, Brendan Donovan should be your blank best player. I was thinking 4th or 5th. Now, if he's your 4th best offensive player, you're pretty good. If he's your 5th, you're freaking really good. And before you go, oh, that's crazy. Well, I mean, the Cardinals have had 5 all-stars in the past. Now, maybe not all 5 position players. So, okay, maybe 4th. What do you think? Could you be a team? Could you be a really good team if Brendan Donovan is your best player offensively? No. You can be okay. 2nd best, 3rd best, probably. But I mean, if you want to be an elite team, really, really good, I think Brendan Donovan probably should be your 4th best offensive player. Is that fair? I want to hear from you guys. What do you think? Again, love Brendan Donovan, but as I'm watching that game, the things that stood out. James Wood, freaking dog, just legit. Cardinals needed James Wood. I'm just looking around the team for the Cardinals, and I'm like, there's a lot of guys I like, a lot of guys that are intriguing, right? As I'm telling you, I'm sitting right there left field. Brendan Donovan's right ahead of me, right in front of me. Love Brendan Donovan. Probably more as a super utility guy. Victor Scott. Love Victor Scott. You got Lars Nootbaar. Lars Nootbaar over there in right field. Still like his upside. Needs to be more productive. Needs to stay healthy. Go around the diamond. We know Nolan Arenado's hurt. And by the way, we know Jordan Walker's also on the shelf. But Jordan Walker hasn't been doing anything. So you got Nolan Gorman playing 3rd. Nolan Gorman. What the hell is he at this point? Nobody knows. Jordan Walker. I can't believe, I was talking to my friends, I can't believe that Jordan Walker, I really can't believe that Jordan Walker might end up not even being a good major league player. That's crazy if that happens. I hope it doesn't. And it would be really sad too, when this kid was billed as the next Pujols. And I know that's very, very high expectations. But if he doesn't even end up being an MLB starter, gosh, what a letdown. And look, it's on him, but it's also on the Cardinals. I've said for years here, I thought the Cardinals just yo-yoed him up and down, especially his first year, 2023, when he's hitting pretty well and they send him down because he's hitting ground balls. And that was the year the Cardinals just made every terrible decision you could make. Just everything they did with Zach Thompson, with Wilson Contreras, blaming everything on him. That was the Tyler O'Neill situation. That was sending down Jordan Walker. All those terrible decisions. And they end up having the worst season in however long it was, 25 years, whatever it was. 2023 was just a year where everything the Cardinals didn't work, but a lot of it was self-inflicted. And let me just double check. I want to see Jordan Walker's numbers there. Jordan Walker, baby. I want to check his numbers from that year. So Jordan Walker, that 2023 season, Well, I mean, 16 bombs, hits 276. That's not bad at all. He's 113 OPS plus. I mean, he comes back and hits pretty well after being sent down. And since then, it's just been bloop. I mean, 113 OPS plus to 71 OPS plus to 59 OPS plus this year. Got 3 homers, batting .210. And look, I think he was always going to be an outfielder or a first baseman, but just everything about Jordan Walker coming up from third base to switching positions to sending him down, back up, back down, just messing with his swing. It's been bad. It's been bad. I think you all know that. I think you all agree with me there, right? By the way, this live stream brought to you by Triad Bank, St. Louis Lawn Care, St. Louis Equipment. There's Triad Bank. Just got a commercial loan for a rental property from Triad Bank. And boy, do they do a great job. Frontenac, Creve Coeur, my guy Matthew Tobin, he'll hook you up. Best thing I ever did for my rental property business, taking all my commercial loans from a big national bank that didn't care about me. It was very obvious. And took it on over to Triad Bank. Been working with them for about 5-6 years. I have 3 loans with them now. Have had 6 loans total. I cannot endorse Triad Bank enough. Here we go. We got a question comment from Adam G. Adam G. Why didn't they trade Walker or Gorman immediately after trading for Arenado? Maybe try to flip one for a pitcher. That's a fair statement. Fair question for sure. You know, maybe their thoughts were, well, the thoughts certainly were, when you get Arenado, you think he's going to be the third baseman for the next 5 years. Then the transition starts of Walker being an outfielder. And then also, at the time you have Goldschmidt, I've always thought Walker maybe made more sense as a first baseman. But when all this was happening, you had Goldschmidt at first base for the foreseeable future. But really, he ends up only playing for 2 more years. Nolan Gorman, I always thought Nolan Gorman could also profile as a corner outfielder. You never knew if he was going to stick, if he's going to stick as a full-time infielder in Major League Baseball. Obviously, he's played some second. I mean, he could play first. Not a huge guy, but he could play first. But that's a good point. That's a good point. Once you trade for Arenado and you have these core pieces in the minors that are really close, and they're both basically coming up as third baseman in Jordan Walker and Nolan Gorman, you have that glut, right? You have that repeatability, or clutter is not a fair word because those are all really good players, or were at the time big prospects. But you just kind of have a log jam. That's the word I was looking for. A log jam right there. So there you go. By the way, I said earlier, I left the game in the 5th inning just because we had already been there for 2 hours and 15 minutes. But good on the Cardinals for getting that win. You freaking better beat the Nationals when you have Sonny Gray on the mound coming off a horrible week. So we'll see what happens rest of the series. Weather looks good right now. Weather was crap last night, but they got it in. Cardinals got the victory, and it's all good. We got 10 of you watching right now. First ever live stream on the Cardinals Clips. Cardinals Central. Cards Central Clips channel. First live stream. Oh, look who it is. Look who it is, folks. Cam Jansen says, hey, dude. And of course, his American flags right there. He gave us 5 American flags. Cam, since you're in here, you got to give us a comment or a question. I was just about to wrap up the live stream here. But you got to give us a comment or a question. Are you paying attention to the Cardinals? Are you bored with the Cardinals? I'm not going to lie. I kind of wasn't paying a ton of attention to the Redbirds. Now I'm back in it the last week or so. We're trying to build this channel up. I went to the game last night. So Cam, before I sign off here, give me a comment. Give me a question. I'm begging you. I'm begging you. What if Cam dropped his comment and then he left? And now I'm talking into the ether. That could also be the case. All right? And that's fine if it is. It's fine if it is. But by the way, the 10 of you watching, please, if you haven't yet, subscribe to this channel. There you go. See, look, he's back. Trade everyone. Cam says trade every freaking player on the St. Louis Cardinals. And you know what? He's probably not wrong. He's probably not wrong. Trade Helsley. I saw that report the Dodgers aren't interested in Arenado. Has that ship sailed? right? Has that ship sailed? We always talked about the last couple of years. The Dodgers could want Nolan Arenado. Who knows? But thank you, Cam. Love you, buddy. Tell you what, I'm going to sign off here. We're over 20 minutes. I got some other stuff to do. I wanted to set up the live stream on the Card Central Clips channel. Start building up the hours. Please, if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and hope everybody has a fantastic rest of their week. I had a great time at Busch Stadium last night. After all the weather, right? There was nobody there, but I get it because the forecast looked just horrible last night. But some good food, some good drinks. Like I said, #blessed. We had the all-inclusive. So that was fun to sit there and hang out with the buddies, eat and drink for the 2 hours and 15 minutes before the game started. But I totally get it why, if you're a fan, if you had a ticket to that game, you're like, I ain't going down there. This forecast does not look good. So there you go. One more time. Triad Bank, St. Louis Lawn Care, St. Louis Equipment, Corner Butcher in Fenton, CB's Chop House there in Fenton Valley Park area, and also Corner Butcher West. Charlie Marlow signing off. Love you all. We'll see you soon. We'll do more of these. Hopefully the Cardinals get going and they give us some exciting baseball. They do some things for the trade deadline, and then it's they'll probably move guys. Maybe it won't be as fun, but hey, here's to hoping. Here's to hopium, folks. We'll see you. End stream.